Every week we're joined by Colorado's best attorney, Phil Harding. So Phil, today we're talking about something that I actually asked you about last week, uninsured motorist coverage, right?
Right. Yeah. Everyone has different types of insurance on their car, right? You've got med pay, you've got liability in case you run into someone else. I want to tell you, first of all, and you probably know this, 1 out of 6 people driving on the road today has no insurance at all.
Well, and this is really right for the time. I mean, you see a lot of cars with no license plates in Denver right now.
Yep.
And that's where this coverage comes in. That's one example.
And uninsured, underinsured is so powerful that it covers you not only if the person that runs into you is uninsured or underinsured, but if you're on your bike or on a skateboard, or the key is that you're injured by a car. You know, that's kind of the important thing. And I want to go over a case. I had this one case where someone had $260,000 in medical bills, and the person that was injured that ran into my client had $100,000. That's a lot of coverage. State minimums are $25,000. And so let's talk about stacking of insurance first.
How do you get more?
Right? And then we're going to talk about what if someone doesn't have insurance. So here's the weird thing. First of all, you look to the owner of the car. Usually the owner of the car and the driver of the car are the same people. But if you loaned out your car, right? Owner of the car comes first, then the driver, then you look to your own uninsured, underinsured, right? So not only on your car, but let's say you had a brother living with you. It's called a resident relative. You can use that person's insurance to stack on top of it.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
There are so many different levels.
That's crazy.
It's so luckily with that person that had $260,000, by stacking all of these insurances, I was able to get her enough money. But let's say the first two, they're gone. There is no insurance. Let's talk about this famous case, and it's going to sound boring.
You wanted to talk about the Fisher case, right?
The Fisher case, right? 2018, Fisher v. State Farm. And so let's look at this. So let's say the person that ran into you has no insurance at all, right? And you're like, well, gee, I have health insurance and it's paying for my medical bills, but how do I get it?
Oh, really? So you can go to health insurance?
Yeah, so first you start off with health insurance, and I want you to use your health insurance. So when you use your health insurance, everyone knows about this. They're called EOBs, right? You go to the ER and ask for a tissue and they charge you $5,000.
That's exactly what happens, and you know it.
And so here, but then your health insurance reduces a bill. So here's a real EOB, $29,000 was billed by this hospital. Your health insurance comes down and says, you know what, I'm discounting this by $20,000, so the amount covered by the plan. If you sent this EOB, right, there's no insurance, to your own uninsured, underinsured, they have to pay you the full $29,000 because that's the billed amount. Colorado's collateral source says, you know, whoever pays this on the other side has to pay the billed amount, not the paid amount. So I want to look at this. So let's say you have $100,000, right, of insurance on your own uninsured, underinsured. Let's kind of look at a graphic of how this happens. So here it is. You have $100,000 of your own insurance. You send them this billing, and they instantly write you a check for $29,000. Now, you might have to pay back something to your health insurance. Remember how I said $8,500 is covered by the plan? So you might have to pay that back to your health insurance. And if so, you still made $21,000. Now, you still have another $70,000 on the $100,000 of the uninsured, underinsured that you have that you can still collect from. And here's the really important thing. You know, when you settle a case or when you get money from an insurance company, they make you sign a release? Not under Fisher. Fisher says you don't have to sign a release.
So this is called the Fisher payment?
Yeah, exactly, a Fisher payment. So you get a Fisher payment for $29,000. You still have another $70,000 from your own uninsured, underinsured, and you just keep on getting paid by your own insurance company until it's maxed out.
This is really an illustration of why you need a lawyer. You got to call. I mean, you're talking about stacking. They're looking at different types of insurance. Phil, thanks for coming in here and explaining this.
My pleasure.
Stuff is interesting. To reach Harding and Associates, you can call them directly at 303-762-9500. You can get a free consultation anytime, and you can find Phil online at hLaw.com. And Phil, thanks again for coming in here and sponsoring this segment.
Thank you.